But yeah, we won in Alabama. We've been in Pennsylvania, New York, New Hampshire, Vermont.
Yeah, tell us a story about the hay bales full of weed. What acre? Tell us.
The loon poop. Yeah, we'd go to Inwood, Ontario, Canada.
The loon poop?
Yeah, it was a drained lake, if I remember right. That's where the track was, and it was a dyno. It was a good track, man, unbelievable. And they always said the ground was loon poop because that's where all the loon birds shit, you know, and that's what made the track so good. And boy, it was. But what a fun place to go. And actually, Warren Powers put that on, and the year I won up there, Blackburn was running really hard, and Lustig and all them guys, and Blackburn won the points, but I won a hand-drawn picture from his daughter. And it's actually that's what was the trophy for first place. And it actually was in pencil, you might say, a picture she drew. So I'm waiting for her to be a big celebrity because someday maybe she'll make it big and this will be worth a lot of money. So, but I haven't heard back from her, so I don't know. I should check the internet once. So, but anyway. God, we've just had fun all over. Hamburg, New York was good to us. We had a good time.
Yeah,
until the next day, Willie, when we drove across the horse track, when the little trotters were going around, we stayed overnight with the band. Remember Steppenwolf band out there?
Was you with us when we hit the skunk?
No, I don't think I was with the skunk, but we stayed overnight. The next morning, me and him, we get up and we look around and oh shit, we're the only truck here anymore in the infield. And these horses pulling these little buggies, these two-wheel buggies were going around the track, you know, and we had to get out.
Almost NASCAR.
Yeah, almost NASCAR, yeah. We had to get out, and it's like, I go, Willie, what are we going to do here? And just watch. Puts her in gear, and off we go. We drive right out the driveway. And oh my, did we never slowed down.
Is that like Hutch Mugs where that guy was sitting there?
What's that?
Is that like Hutch and that guy was sitting there?
Oh, kind of, yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good. We were in Hudson, Kansas, pulling at the state fair, and we went down there too, if I remember right. But we pulled up to, I don't know, like a Senex convenience store on a 4-lane road. Nope, it wasn't big enough to get in, and our truck's a little long, but not bad, you know. And anyhow, so I said, well, guys, watch this. We just pulled in the turning lane, and we all piled out the side door, you know, and went around the back of the truck, and it didn't take a minute, and here comes the cop. And he pulls right in front of us, you know, actually he was beside on my driver's door, in that lane. You know, he goes, what are you doing? You know, I said, we're just spending a little money in Kansas before we head back to South Dakota, you know. Well, he says, you're blocking all the traffic getting out of the fair, you know. I said, really? It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't think there's a whole lot going our way, you know. And I kept bullshitting with him, and I told these guys, you guys all get in the side door again. And I'm sitting in the truck, we're just gonna drive away. You know, because he didn't realize that there was another entry. So, and anyhow, and he just keeps harassing me and keeps hassling me, you know. And as he is blocking the northbound lane to get into the fair, he's got cars backed up past the stop line, past the turn signal deal. And finally I said, you're going to me for blocking traffic. You better look in your rearview mirror. While he went to look, we drove away. And never heard another word from him. So anyhow, yeah. Good memories. Me and Gerald ran together. We owned the weapon together when we first built it. And we just talked about it. And I said too that I was wondering when Karen was up here the last time, and it actually was in 1992. In August, last week of August, September, we debuted it Labor Day weekend at Nebraska State Fair. And we had worked on it for what, 2 years probably to get it that far. And my two kids, I have a daughter Jessica and my son Tyler. Everybody knows Tyler. So they're adopted, which is a beautiful thing for me and Cindy because we couldn't have children. So I wasn't home long enough. No. And she's true to me because nobody else wants to stop by. But anyhow, we're working on a pulling tractor, and Gerald, you've been up there for probably a week already, I'd say. And we're trying to get it done to go to Lincoln, Nebraska for the first time down the track. And we ended up on Thursday, if I remember right, for a Saturday, Sunday pull or a Sunday, Monday pull, something like that down there. We're thinking we're going to get this baby fired up and going, you know. And here we get a call from the adoptions agency. We need to come pick up that little fella right there. And it's like, really? But okay, so off we go, and we bring Tyler home, and anyhow, long story short, I went to Lincoln, Nebraska with the pulling tractor 2 days later because he didn't know the difference. And, if I wouldn't tell him I went to Lincoln, Nebraska, he would have never known it. And we've had a few differences between me and Tyler, and one day he told me, you know, Dad, he said, you left me the first day you had me. And I said, yeah, but that was a good thing. Look what we got pulling tractors. So, anyhow. But yeah, and everything worked out great. The weapon actually got third, I think. Third, we get first pass out of the gate, brand new tractor. And we got third, and then we went to Fonda, Iowa.
Yep.
And you won, if I remember right. You beat the world famous Dennis Goodwin. And my God, did Corky have an issue. They were trying to make 4 turbo rules and all kinds of bullshit that winter. So,
I remember we loaded it pretty quick.
Yeah, we loaded pretty quick, yeah.
It was also at the pool we went to.
Yeah.
You had some friends, and we were in the semi.
Yeah.
We were trying to find a place to sleep.
Yeah.
And you told us you knew these people. So we pulled up on the road, and you said, nobody will bother you. It's good to park there. And so it's cold that night, and we're just sleeping on an air mattress.
In the trailer.
In the trailer without any extra blankets on a cold night.
Yeah.
And around 5 a.m. somebody knocks on the door, and it's the county sheriff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think I heard this story.
Yeah, we needed to move, but like.
Oh, really? Yeah, where?
We gave him your name and number.
That was in Fonda? Right, yeah, okay.
Well, the sled was around there, Bauer was there.
Yeah.
We were all kind of camped out and whatever. Yeah, but I don't know why they beat on my trailer that said.
Yeah. Out of stater. Yeah.
So Mark, how did you and Gerald meet? Because obviously you're from way over there.
Well,
Rob
Gerald.
Russell and Joe Bush.
Yeah. Long circle, Robbie and Joe. Joe Bush Agriculture, even way back in the 80s. You know? Like we just talked about it. When did you start it?
85.
85. So it had to be, because I remember the single garage, you might say, or the one little garage. And Gerald had a varmint. It was a little 40-50, was it? And I ended up helping him lose weight on that tractor way back then. Is what it started out, because we started drilling holes, and we had a lot of good. That was a good ride. Yeah. So that was.
Joe's garage red yet?
Wrong.
I believe it was. Was it red? Yeah, your garage was red. Yeah. Just like the barn. Yeah. So anyhow, that's how I got to meet Gerald that way through that bunch, and I actually worked on his rear end and lightened up things, and we took it to Alcorn, Wisconsin, I believe, and Bob Gansmere was in the class, and Terry Blackburn and Randy Reitz, and we come up out of the trailer or off the trailer, and we head to this, and we have like, I don't know,
575 on the 550.
yeah, like 10 weights on the front end, and I remember so well. Terry never says anything, you know. He just look at it and he'd walk around, but Gansmere had a John Deere also, and he goes, "You guys are going to be tired carrying all them weights back to your trailer, you know." "Why is that, Bob?" "Well, there ain't no way you got them, and they're real." You know. You know. And we go across the scale, and I think we got to put one more on.
Yep.
We were 75 block.
You grab that other way, you
Yeah,
put it on there.
yeah. And we set her on there, and we crossed the scale with over 500 pounds. And when these guys went around, and I don't know if any of you know it, but Bob Gansmere was laying underneath it. between the tires looking, trying to see what is missing here. And I go, Bob! And he hits his head on the Remember, I said, if you want a blueprint of it, I got it. I said, you don't have to lay under there and get all dirty. It's no big deal, But yeah, we drilled holes and Bushy ran new copper lines to hook the brakes up inside because we drilled through the brake lines and all kinds of things. So yeah, and that kind of started our relationship. And I don't know, they got married and had babies and were farming big and stuff. So then what year did 94, 95? Did we split up the weapons? 93, 94, 94?
3, yeah, because Justin came running full.
Yeah, and then I took and ran it, and I hooked up with Esdon, and I hooked up with Robbie Russell, and we actually ran Grand National for a couple of years there. Yeah, and Louisville, and then I took it to Louisville, and I never brought it home. It ended up getting dropped off at Fort Wayne, Indiana, at Ron Boldemeyer's shop, and went in a container and went to Peter Clark over in England. I sold it in '96.
Keep going.
And
Keep going
actually,
on that line.
On that line right
Yes.
there. Actually, it was Clarky was quite an individual, honestly. And I just talked to him because he found, Jeff Ashcroft drove his tractor and stuff, and he found out, he heard about, he's on the internet, and Clarky actually called me. Yeah.
How many,
he's getting old.
how many parts did we have in the double
Oh,
dash?
yes.
Oh, it's crazy. He ended up shitting the rods all out of the thing, and so I fly over there with a whole motor in my darn duffel bag and my carry-on bag and my suitcase, and Bushy comes over about a week later, and we actually spend a week over in England with him and stuff, and put it back together, and it was comical when I went to claim my baggage in Sioux Falls. Actually, we flew out of Sioux Falls, and they said you could have 70 pounds in a carry-on bag or so much. And I had borrowed an Army duffel bag because it was long enough to have a camshaft in it and everything like that. and not to pick on him, but there was a nice little young black feller that was lifting the bags, and he comes, "You need help?" And I said, "Yeah, it'll be all right." He goes, I said, "That was kind of heavy." "Oh, I can handle that, no problem." And he reached down to grab it to put it on the carousel. He's like, "Oh my God, what's in here?" And he flips it up on there. The next thing, even back then, and that was in '96, I believe, or '97. 96, I believe. 97.
You went to Europe in
'97. And anyhow. Next thing it's AU with all these bags with his stuff in them. "You come here." So the X-ray machine kind of picked out this one, and I had an engine rod shoved in each one of my shoes. And I had lifters, roller lifters and everything to take along. And he goes, "What are these? They look like 50 caliber bullets." I said, no, they're not, but they kind of do. I said, he goes, "Well, what are they?" Well, then another individual came along and goes, "Ah, shit, looky there. Hey, we got a whole motor going over there." And that guy goes, "Oh, those are lifters, and that's a camshaft, and there's 6 rods, and there's just all this stuff." And oh God, it was quite a deal. So then we get to Heathrow over in England, and Clarky, as smoothie he was, he said, don't go to claim, don't, just grab your bag and head to this door number 12 or something, And I go, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah, don't worry about it." No, I said, that'll work. And off we do it, and we do. And he's waiting on the outside of that, and in his Land Rover, these bags go, and I get in the wrong side naturally, because I'm used to, he goes, "What are you driving?" "No, not yet, but I'd like to." And off we go. And about 24 hours later, we had the weapon back there. Back then it's called Red Alert. And we have her going. And on, I think it was a Saturday, we went to Tinchwick, England or something, and I actually drove it over in England at one of their England polls.
We loaded it up on
And then we loaded it up, and we we went to Amsterdam, the Flevoland or whatever, where that big amusement park is.
Yeah, we had
Behind the dive.
we had to go underneath the.
Yeah, we went through the tunnel.
And over to France and around
Under the-
Belgium and.
Yeah.
and,
Come up at
Netherlands.
France, didn't we? Right?
France and Belgium and the
Yeah.
Netherlands were.
Yeah, in the Netherlands, yeah.
They thought,
And-
they thought he was like rock star there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, that was quite an experience. That tunnel thing, that's wild.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, they X-ray everything,
Yeah.
looking for guns and drugs and all this. And somehow Clarky got that X-ray of his trailer. We got pulled in. It was a random deal, and you're on like a railroad track. You don't drive. You just it's all over. It just takes it around in another building, and then it loads it back on the train again and all that. And they X-rayed it. And in that trailer, he had a soft-sided trailer, if I remember right. But in that trailer with the side shields on that X-ray, I could read the numbers of the block on that picture. So it unbelievable. But yeah, we pulled over there. We didn't do very good. We blew a gasket out on the bottom turbo, if I remember right. But old Wilhelm and the alcohol boys, we had their attention, and it didn't take long. They caught up in a hurry. But we kind of kicked their butts for 2 years. So yeah. And what's crazy, Navistar engine plant was 23 miles from Peter Clark's house. And we're driving around one day, and he's showing them all these sites, and it was a personal tour of England, you might say. Anyhow, we go by the Navistar plant, and I go, Navistar? What in the hell, Clarky, why did you have me bring all this shit over here? It's right there. And he goes, what do you mean it's right there? I said, well, all the gaskets and all the stuff that you say you can't get, it's right there. And naturally, he knew somebody in the shipping or some department of the business, and got to be friends with him. And in '97, in the winter, that tractor, that motor went on their dyno at Navistar. So in '97, with a P pump with 4 turbos, and was the European champion, it had 1,513 horsepower. Is all it had. It wasn't even a good super farm nowadays. And that's what it had. And
It felt like more than that.
So
At the time, it felt like a lot more.
it did. It ran good. God, we even gave Esdon Lehn a pretty good run for his money. So, yeah. But yeah, so that's my Europe story. But we've stayed friends for all these years, me and Clarky have. But used to talk like once a month, but now it's like once a year. He's getting old on me, just like we all are. So, yeah. But he still has a tractor, and he put it up for sale about a year ago. And I messaged him, actually Jeff, and I messaged him. I said, hey, tell Clarky I'll give him his money back that he gave me. You know? Ooh. He said, when do you want it? Oh, we better backpedal there. I think 4 of them's enough. I don't need 5. But anyway, yeah. But all I'd have to do is say, send her back, and he'd have her back. I actually got all the motor stuff back from him, because he went to an alcohol motor now and stuff. And then he built a component.
With the hot drop.
Yeah.
He
So anyhow.
sold the component.
Huh?
He sold the component.
Yeah, the component got sold.
It's called Betty Blue.
Yeah, but yeah. So, but anyhow, yeah, that was my Europe experience. It was a great time. Me and Joel had a good time traveling around London, riding the bus and the train. Yeah, go to the taverns at night. You bloody Americans.
Warm Guinness in the cover.
Yeah, instead of Guinness, yeah, everything's warm over there. Oh God. But you know, by the time when we left, the Guinness tastes pretty damn good compared to the Budweiser at Heathrow Airport. That was very good. I carried a pocket knife all the time that I got from Great Lakes seed corn, and it was engraved with my name on it. And I made it over there with it. They never took it from me, and I get over there and they took it away from me. And the guy goes, I said, you can't. I said, read on there. It's from I had it like 5 years, you know, and I said, that's kind of part of me, you know. And he goes, well, he says, you don't really look like a terrorist, but he goes, God, I can't let you on the plane that night, you know. Really? He goes, but you know what? I'll tell you what I'll do. They had a counter where you walk by to go check in to get on the board the plane. He says, when you get ready to leave, he says, I'll lay that at the end of the counter, and you just walk by and pick it up like nobody knew it was there. And he said, you're good to go. And sure as shit, I going onto the board, they called my roll or whatever, and sure as hell, my little knife was laying on the end of that railing and I put it in my pocket. But I lost it in,
Yeah, then you went to
I lost it in Missouri. Yeah. But hey, at least somebody else might have it. So, yeah.
Bill has lost 5.
But,
5 knives here.
but yeah.
Nice knife.
But yeah, that was a fun 2 weeks we had over there.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Except Bushy lost his camera. Yeah. We made a phone call, didn't we, or something?
I went to the phone booth, you know, no cell phone. You
Yeah.
the phone booth, and laid that camera down and made the call, and left, and I got back down to you by the subway, and shit, you know.
Yeah, we went back, but it was
So
gone.
we showed
Yeah.
it. That was a lot of good pictures, too.
First time you realized Esdon Lehn was crazy.
In Iowa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he was. Comes with a Ford with a green tarp over his tractor, and yeah, they made him pull 6 times to win three classes, I think.
Was that,
But
was that
in-
the year I was down there with only 1 gear in the tractor?
Yeah, you only had 1 gear. Ran 7, 9, and 12 in the same gear, and boy, they didn't like that. Yeah.
I got him out of town quick.
But
Heads up, who want more?
but one more, you know, we used to have somebody gave us magnetic pictures of our tractor, and when we rode together, we would always put them on our door of the living quarters. The closest to the doorknob was first, or if we beat each other. And every once in a while, I got to be closest to the doorknob. So yeah, I have no idea. He's been all over the world. I would have to say he's won way more. So
No,
I have.
heads up though.
Heads up?
Stepping up together. Like when you pull together.
I'd say he is one. Yeah, he's one ahead of me.
Damn it.
Just one. Sorry. Yeah.
For now.
But, 2 microphones. All we need is Robbie here to correct us all.
Yeah, he would tell us what we did, and when we did it, and how we did it.
Look at the screen. Look at the screen. You're on Zoom here. Why you
You probably will be.
You'll be on Zoom. How did you?
Is that right? Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. We've had quite some travel times. Remember when we went to Lexington, Alabama? It was like 100.
Red Horse?
Yeah, no, not that year. No, it was like 125 degrees when we got down there. And we're at the parking lot. We're the only ones there. We got there a day early. We came from Macon. We switched gears up at my place, and then we drive way back down there. That's so.
Here's Robbie Russell.
No, it's my combine driver.
Head's on fire again?
Yeah, maybe. It's insured this time.
Hey now, not again.
We'll just let him. Anyhow, we get down there and it's like 120 degrees, and we were probably a day early, but so we're in the parking lot of the fairgrounds or wherever that pole was, and the cops come over. We're sitting in the shade side of the trailer having a beer, you know, and here comes the cop car, you know, and this nice big black guy and with no hair at all, and the other guy, and they go, "You boys ain't from here, are you?" We go, "No, what's the first clue?" Well, the first thing he said, "You got hair, and you must be hot." And he said, "There's another thing that's wrong." And I go, what might that be, or what? You know, he said, "Dry county." Oh, shit. He goes, we should give you a ticket for this. You can't have this beer out here in this parking lot. Really? What the hell? How are we supposed to stay hydrated? You know? Anyhow, we kind of bullshit with him, and he made a deal with us. We were supposed to go to what, Mama G's or something, and get one of their cups.
I don't remember all this, but I remember, I don't remember what we did to get out of it.
You had too many beers by then already?
Probably. You gotta stay hydrated.
Anyhow, we had to go down to a little convenience store in the corner right beside the Baptist church, which is every corner of the block down there. And then he said, "You pour your beer in that cup, and we'll let you can drink beer in that parking lot." And we kind of, okay. Well, about an hour later, he come back and checked on us, and yeah, we had our little Mama G cups or whatever, you know, and it was all good. But he said, you boys, if you need a haircut or a shave, there's another place down. You ain't from here, man. You got way too much hair. And then ended up, I won that night. Yeah, we won the 7,500 pound class that night. I don't think you did so well.
One of those times I did?
I don't think so, yeah.
Never too much.
Yeah. Well, I just remember when I beat you.
Well,
But, yeah,
when you beat me, it just made me better, I guess.
I know, yeah, that's one thing we've taught each other. I think every time something went wrong, if it didn't kill you, it made you stronger. And boy, we lived and breathed tractor pulling, going down the road 24/7, you know. And I think we helped each other quite a bit over the years.
And that's when Robbie Russell still was a super stock puller.
Yeah, he was a super stock puller. Yeah.
With a red motor.
With a red motor, yeah, actually the right hood, red motor, so yeah. But, yeah, one time Robbie Russell was out in New York, when he shipped the flywheel out, if I remember right, or
Probably Hamburg.
I think it was Hamburg, honestly. And I had helped him a little bit, that's when he had his Magnum, I made the sheet metal for it. And he calls me on like Saturday and he says, hey, can you fix my flywheel, you know? I said, well, I'm not sure, it depends how bad it is, you know, but we can give it a try. We gotta be in Des Moines, Iowa Wednesday, pull at the state fair, you know, and I go, oh shit. So anyhow, he gets there like on Sunday and we end up taking it apart. And I said, Robbie, we're not gonna take the crankshaft, we gotta take the crank out to resurface the back, but we're gonna leave all the rest in it. So, and he goes, what? So he had to call Brett Berg to make sure that was okay. But we flipped the motor over and we just turned and took the rod caps off and lifted the crank out. And I welded the back up, which you're not supposed to do, and I welded the flywheel up and we resurfaced it and we get it all put back together and fire it up on Tuesday and make it to Iowa State Fair. You know, and he ends up winning it. Except we forgot to tighten the radiator hose and he lost some water. But that's when I figured out if you're gonna pull Grand National, you gotta have one of them Grand National licenses and stuff, because they overlook that shit. Any other time anybody else comes in there, you have to play by the rules. But them guys got all them freebies, so. Anyway, that's when this guy called me one day and he goes, what the hell you doing helping Russ out? We had his ass kicked with his flywheel off and you go and fix it for him. And he come back and I think he won the points that year, didn't he?
Well, that was the time he blew the hood off.
Oh, yeah.
Tennessee.
In Tennessee, yeah.
He got us back.
And I got him back going that time,
Yeah.
too, yeah.
I won the 9 or
God, yeah.
11 that time and he won the 7.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he blew split the block. And,
That would have been,
I went down to actually his house.
can't remember what year that was.
Oh, man. He had the 3688 then.
Yep.
Because Jerry was trying to find a new hood and he couldn't find one, and I went over to the junk pile beside his shop and picked it out and started beating on it with a mallet.
Yeah.
Straightened it out and he goes, hell, Robbie, we don't need a new hood. Look, shit, it'll be fine. So,
And he come to Elkhorn.
yeah, come to Elkhorn. Yeah, I believe it was, yeah. Yeah, God diggity. See, you're smarter than you think.
If they'd let me drink a little more, I could be smarter.
I think you have some effects from last night.
I have a question.
So what was the deal I did that you kissed me that time?
Oh, Jesus.
I think that was alcohol involved.
Somehow John Force was in that whole deal too.
Really?
Yeah, because John did that a couple times somewhere, so
Uh-huh.
we thought we could be just
Oh, like him?
Yeah.
I don't exactly remember at Spencer, Iowa, if I remember right. It was cold out.
Hey, remember your first kiss, guys?
Yeah, I was in Gillis's trailer.
The old Brett Root trailer?
The old Brett Berg trailer. Yeah, I'm not sure what was all going on, but it wasn't good.
But
Windsor related.
Windsor related? I believe you're right, Willie.
it wasn't probably Jim Beam and Mountain Dew.
I was just gonna say Jim Beam and
Yeah. He's got
Okay, one of maybe my second or third pull I went on, somebody told him I was a good cook. We were in a dry town. I I got hauled to town in a pickup from a dry town and we bought over 120 some pounds of hamburger, and I got taught how to make hog burgers. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. The old Jungle Juice days, remember them?
Yes.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, come on in, don't be bashful.
Yeah, we're just talking.
So what was his name that I rode with that we
Tom
made?
Morrissey.
Tom Morrissey,
Oh,
the groundhog.
Morrissey groundhog.
I remember this, now that you say
And
that.
we drank all the way there and all the way back.
Yeah, you drank, what was that?
Everclear.
No,
Maker's Mark.
Maker's Mark. Yep, that's what I
And a
remember.
splash of water.
Yeah.
Is that like the Blizzard in Kansas City?
Oh, right.
Bicycle head.
Yeah, bicycle dead, oh, I was,
Tell the story about going down the interstate on the gooseneck.
what?
He was going down the interstate and they just jumped on the gooseneck going down the interstate.
I remember.
I don't remember that one.
You might have been asleep. We left Fort Recovery. Morrissey, these guys got on the camper, they've been drinking, and they were on lawn chairs, sitting on the tractor going down the interstate.
I remember that time, I don't know if you were at Chapel Hill with me?
I've never been in Chapel Hill.
then-
Gerald was.
Then Randy Hinton was with us. He was driving some old Cadillac or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were all running way too fast. He went up over this hill, come down, and all
That
of
was
us,
Chapel Hill.
after Chapel Hill, yeah. And we come up over this hill and, we thought we were all going to jail. And he had his hair dryer or something hanging.
His boot.
Was what? His boot, yeah. Like he was checking our speed. That was a Randy Hinton moment.
5 miles down the road, there was a true.
Oh, yep.
But what about that time you took me to the hospital and you got to go pull tractors?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And that time, I told you guys when I was in the hospital, I says, you need to pull the valve cover off because there's going to be one of the rocker arm pins probably are coming out. They need to be knocked back in place.
At the same time, we got a new set of injectors from Hypermax and charged them to you. We got to work on it. We're going to put something else in it. We put a pair of 95s on top of it, and Willie goes and wins Ionia Pre-Fair. I think we were at Ionia, wasn't it? Monroe.
And Pete Curry, our old
Yeah.
neighbor, sold a shit ton of t-shirts.
Oh, God, yeah. We just had a nice talk about Pete last night.
Yeah, he would always say, yep,
One for 20, 2 to 40.
I'm going to sell her some shirts, you know.
Yeah.
He said, you want, how many do you want? 1 for 20, 2 for 40, 3 for 60. And he sold 3 of them for 60.
Yeah. One time at Toma, there was a husband and wife, I take it, with about 8 little kids or 5 little kids came up and they all wanted t-shirts and he gets them all handed, but oh my God, he goes, I sure hope you know what caused all that. Oh, Yogi one time got sick on me. That was, we were at Boulder's in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I used to eat a lot of licorice and peanuts, and anyhow, he
And we just
decided he was
had
going to
Fort
try to
Recovery.
keep up with me. Yeah, we had been at Fort Recovery, and it was pretty neat. We'd go pulling on the weekends. We'd stay at Ron Boldemeier's shop, and then we'd work on our tractors on Monday, and usually, luckily, they didn't break a whole lot back then. And then we would work on other people's junk during the week to get enough money to buy beer and cigarettes, or no, I didn't smoke, but anyhow, and then here he goes and gets sick on me, and one night he had been out for a walk and comes back, he goes, Marky, he said, I don't feel good, man, you're gonna take me to the hospital. Oh, really? You know, okay.
5 in the morning.
4 o'clock in the morning in Fort Wayne, Indiana, I have no clue. And we had a car out there, it was a big old Lincoln Continental or something my
It was
neighbor
big
had.
old.
Yeah, it was
Mercury or
but something, yeah, Mercury, I can.
big old dog at 28 miles a gallon.
Yeah, the dog, you're running good, yeah, so, yeah. Well,
But at least they finally, after 5-6 years, they finally found out I needed my gallbladder out. Oh, it's just gonna be in and out surgery. Then I ended up at your place.
Yeah.
Like 6 weeks later, I said, what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah,
Because I felt like
yeah,
shit yet. Oh, it's just in and out surgery.
yeah.
Right.
Body was poisoned.
But yeah, we got to take him in the hospital. we pull up to a stoplight, I do, and I have no idea where the hospital's at. And I'm flagging down the car, you know, and this guy like, really? At 4 in the morning? And I'm waving and jumping, and here he was a part-time cop or something, and I said, hey, you gotta find the hospital, and he goes, okay. And then we bullshit a little bit, and you know, he leads us right to it, and he ends up having his gallbladder removed. So.
Yeah, they wouldn't even let me out of the hospital.
No.
You're going right into surgery.
Remember, I had to call Kimmy, and oh my, I said,
What are you two
Kimmy,
boys up to now?
Just relax, take it easy. What's wrong? What's wrong, Marky? You know? I said, Esdon's in the hospital. What? What? I said, just slow down, easy. And she doesn't even have time to pack shoes. I had to buy her a set of tennis shoes. You still got them?
What year was that? That was early 90s, wasn't
It
it?
had to be 93, 94. Something like that.
Before you sold the weapons.
Before I sold it, yeah. Yeah.
Then I come out to your place and you and Willie took it,
We took it to
2-3 places, I thought. that time. St. Hyacin?
Were we out to St. Hyacin or something like that? Didn't we end up going out east?
In Vermont? Is that in towards the end of the year?
I think we were at Exeter Junction, Vermont. And yeah, we ended up.
Ionia was the first one.
I think Ionia, and then
Because Ellen Bob,
oh
you and Ben Dorothy was out the gate so
Yeah.
far, and the rest of us were.
yeah,
That's not, I can't call him.
yeah,
I'm like fifth, it's like I can't call him.
yeah.
What the hell, I'm 30-some feet short.
Yeah, you were a little short.
Dickerson's even behind me.
Yeah, Dickerson was squealing. Yeah, yeah,
Maybe Ellen Bob told us afterwards you got in the wrong year, don't worry about it.
yeah. Worked for us.
Yeah, work for you.
Yeah,
I think you won it.
I think I did.
And then we went to the Wood Grandstand.
Yeah.
You changed injectors for me.
Yeah, we changed it. We had to change the injector because it stuck a pin in it. Yeah, I remember that.
That was the time.
That was a hurry.
Little Dickerson.
And we had to do that between pull off or full pull and pull off.
Pull off, yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, crazy.
I think you were there.
I think you were. But anyhow, yeah.
How about a Holdorf Leo K type story?
Oh boy.
We don't want to touch that.
Ooh. There's only one I can probably tell you. Both them guys at Toma, Wisconsin one night.
This might be the one I'm looking for.
They were throwing $100 bills
Yep.
from the campfire.
Yep.
And me and Rob Russell were sitting there thinking, yeah, might burn a little, but damn. Doing this shit. They were burning $100 bills in the campfire. So,
Well, most of the time, we would go to a pole and hopefully want enough money to put gas in the truck to get to the next one.
yeah. Yeah, we did pretty good that one year. I remember we actually picked up extra parts at Hypermax and had them in the trailer, you know, and paid for. So.
Remember when we was coming to pick you up after you got sick? Coming across Wisconsin? And,
Oh, the fog?
and you said the truck started hesitating and said, Willie, did you run this thing out of fuel lesson? No, I just filled it up. Fuel filter's plugged out.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. Who are you? You can do that more. Show us my daughter Jessica. Yeah, I don't know. Gosh, we had Fort Recovery story. We broke an axle hub one night and plucked the old axle through the aluminum wheel and ended up borrowing Willie's pickup, if I remember right. And I took it over to Roger Weissong's and he said, if you can weld, you can use the welder. So I welded the rim back up and put a patch on it. Well, they serve the best homemade ice cream at Fort Recovery. This ladies' church group does. Well, by the time I got back there, they were all closed up, and I needed ice cream, man.
Is that the time we got caught?
Yeah, we got caught.
In the
yeah.
cookie jar?
That ladies' group, they made out very well for one dip of ice cream. I think I gave them $200 or something. Because the cops were on their way. They said, we get this shit all the time. You guys think you can just take this stuff, you know? No. So that was a very high priced ice cream, but it was good. It was all right. Yeah.
I still miss it.
Yeah. I don't know.
1750 Oliver story.
Oh boy, yeah, I got some Oliver stories, but none of them were very good. Yeah, we started with Oliver's, and we did have a lot of fun. My dad let me borrow a 1950 T from after we were done farming in the spring till fall, and I would take it, and one day he goes, I didn't really realize that you were gonna strip it all down and mess it all up for me, you know. I said, I'll put it all back together, Dad, it'll be all right. Well, we gotta cut silage next week, you know. Well, State Fair was going on yet in Huron, Labor Day weekend, and he went and started, so I had to take it apart, put it together to cut silage, good enough, then take it apart again, go to South Dakota State Fair, and then get home on Monday and put it all back together so we could go cut silage again on Tuesday. So, hey, it made me stronger, it made me good.
Get the personal tractor.
The personal
Just
tractor.
dedicated.
And I have one in the barn right now, a 1950 T Oliver. I had to have one back, so I bought one a few years back. So, but you don't dare run it, or shit the rods out of it, just idling. So, just memories. Yeah. I don't know, where else did we all
I
go?
don't even know if we would have lived this long if we weren't pulled together.
Think so?
Probably not.
Probably not, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
We did something awful worse than tractor pulling.
Yeah, well.
I'll say one thing though, don't ever sell Mark Ulmer short.
One time we were coming out of, where were we, actually Junction? When we were coming down the interstate about 95 mile an hour. And that, on our CB radio, they go, hey, is Bill Webb in that red truck?
I'll let my cousin in there.
Yeah. And then it was like, I said, well, you don't answer that, you know, because we're trucking. We were running probably 90,
Yeah,
keeping up with the traffic.
We weren't supposed to tell us, we
Yeah.
were running his truck that hard.
Yeah, he was in the sleeper. Anyhow, then it's, hey, is there a Mark Ulmer in that truck? You know, and it's like, what in the hell? Somebody knows this. How in the shit can that be, you know? Next, it's like a mile later, it's like, hey, is there an Esdon Lehn in that truck? I said, we better talk to him. There's somebody's wanting to talk to us. So, and here's a cop. He's behind us, and you read our names on the back door of the trailer. So he goes, you know what, you guys? I said, we came from Essex Junction, Vermont. We're tractor pullers. We're headed back to South Dakota, Minnesota. You know. Well, he says, you can't be in this right lane. Big trucks can only be in the first lane, if I remember right, the left lane.
Who was driving?
I was driving, unluckily. Anyhow, so he goes, and you know as well as I do, that I can't stop you because we'd have a catastrophe of unbelievable, and with the traffic was just wall-to-wall traffic. So I said, well, you know what, the old Peterbilt's got a little left. I could pick her up a little more if you think I'm not doing a good job. And he goes, no, he said, you're doing fine, but he said, we gotta get you out of this lane. And so he said, I tell you what we'll do, I'm gonna turn my yellow lights on and hopefully we don't have a pilot behind us. And I'll make a spot for you, and every time I do, you move over one lane, you know. I bet it took, what, 5 miles?
Took a while.
For us to get over to the left lane. And he pulled up beside us on Willie's side in the passenger, and he waved at us and said, you guys have a safe trip. And off we do. About 3 miles later, we went right back to the right lane and came off again. But yeah. Yeah.
So like that time I was with me and Rob Russell. We were going, I was driving his semi, first time I even drove a truck.
Which one, the old black one?
I think it was the old black one.
Yeah.
And
we crashed it. So you
and that's when 55, it was only 55 in Ohio.
In Ohio, slow Ohio.
And all of a sudden, we were going to Williamsburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh boy, yeah. Okay.
And the roads were a little bouncy out there, and Russell gets out of the sleeper and says, where are we? I said, we're in Pennsylvania. Slow this mother effer down. I said, I was just following the Madden cruiser. I waved to John Madden. He was in the hot seat, on the side seat. I said, if they ain't gonna stop the Madden cruiser, why would they stop us?
Yeah. We got stopped one night in a caravan, and the guy told us, the cop said, your truck can go 70, but your trailer can go 70, but your truck can only go 55. You know, it's like, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
And how we ever went pulling with pickups.
Yeah, no doubt.
And you back pick up down the interstate one time.
Well, yeah, that was, I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one too.
Was that,
Kearney, Nebraska.
oh,
Yeah, we missed our exit, and the next one's like 14 miles, and I told Bushy here, Boozer, that, oh, we ain't going way over there. We backed her up. Somebody pushed her horn. And we backed her up about a quarter mile, and backed up the exit ramp, found her home. So, but anyway, yeah.
yeah, the good old days.
It
I
was.
don't know where they went.
Went by fast. First you couldn't wait to get there, and now it's like, wow, how did it happen? But it's a blessing we made it this way. We are.
Cloverdale, Indiana, we had the
Ah,
cops get us.
yeah, we had the cops at Cloverdale. Yeah, these guys and all these electronic, gadgets that tell you where to drive. We go to Cloverdale, Indiana, and I said, we can't do this. No, it's right over there. You just take this road and go down here, and it'll be okay. So we do. We got the old Big Mama Red Pete back then, and it's like, oh shit. I said, look up ahead, guys. There's a basketball hoop at the end of the road and a pile of dirt. And it's like, oh man, we're not in a good district here, guys. So anyhow, we get down to the end of the lane and T road, and it was just enough that I could get turned off to the side and backed around the dirt pile and got turned around. And this guy that lived right on the corner was in his front door, standing there the whole time watching us do this. And we just barely got turned around, and here come the cops. And lights on and everything. So it's like, I jump out and I go, oh no, he said, get back in your vehicle. No, I said, why or what? And he goes, well, he said, you just tore that guy's lawn up down there. And he's madder than a hornet. I said, what do you mean? Which guy? The guy standing in his door? And he goes, yeah, he called us and he wants his lawn fixed, or he wants cash. I said, you tell that guy that if he has a rake, I will fix any rut I put in his lawn, But, and if there isn't any, I said, he owes me money because he's harassing me, And the cop goes, okay, just wait right here, don't move. All right, he comes back, he goes, yeah, he said, yeah, you don't need to have a rake or nothing. You didn't even get on his grass. He said, you must be a hell of a driver. I said, what they didn't know is the guy on the other side of the road, he needed a fucking bulldozer to fix his front axe trailer and turned it right into his lawn. But anyhow, yeah, so we got an escort to the Cloverdale pole by the cops. They loved us. Yeah, God, it was good. Boy, that guy on the other side, he wouldn't give me happy in the morning. Yeah, we pulled in, are you with me? St. Martha's-ville or St. Missouri? And we got there late, naturally, because it was a long drive. And their parking lot was full by the pole area, but they had a ball diamond. They said, you guys should park all down there. There was numerous trucks and trailers, and I said, really? You want us to park on your...
Your opinion on the weapon?
No. And anyhow, he goes, yeah, just pull her in the gate there by the dugout. And he said, take her around first and around third and end up facing on third. I said, it's a spread axe trailer, people are. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. Well, yeah, we did. We rounded first, rounded second, aimed for her third. And there was ruts. But then, we ended up winning, I think, that night. We were all happy. No, not Richland. It was a downhill track.
Okay. But we were by a baseball field there.
Yeah, there we are.
Softball.
Yeah. So.
I know which one you're talking about, but I don't remember the town.
Yeah, can't either. So, yeah.
Do you think we're dismissed?
I think I did. Yeah. What time is it?
Does anybody have any more questions for Mark Ulmer or Esdon Lehn? Anybody? Questions? They're all scared.
That's good. Yeah.
We should sing you happy birthday again on that.
Oh, no.
You don't want it out.
Yes.
You guys ready? Come on, go straight. Happy birthday to you, Mark Ulmer. Happy birthday to you. Has a lot of crackers. Happy birthday, dear Mark Ulmer. And lots of donuts. Happy birthday to you.